Let's go!
Oh.
It's another pod. You know who's on the mic right now. It's Zeno with the flex. And I had a great weekend, man. I don't know about you guys. I had a great weekend because of an El Classico W. A W of the highest proportions, the highest stakes, with a league title on the line. Remontada.
Facts.
Remontada. They did it.
Barca's middle name.
Remontada?
They did it. It was an incredible game. Look, I know we're mostly going to talk about El Clasico here. It's only right, you know. It's the biggest rivalry in soccer. After, I'd say probably the biggest rivalry in soccer after Egypt-Senegal, I'd say.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in recent times.
Yeah, recent times in it. Yeah.
It was a sick game, man. Okay, look, for those that don't know what those who unfortunately might have missed the game, I know I didn't, but maybe some of you did. Barca won 4-3. Should have been 5-3, but 4-3. After going down 2-0. They won the game, and now they have the league title in their grasp. The La Liga title. What a crazy game. So let's get started with an intro topic here. You know, there are a lot of storylines just within this one game. You had an Mbappe hat-trick and a loss. You had a referee drama. You had madness. It was Carlo Ancelotti's last game before getting officially sacked, per se. Let's get started with the refereeing, though. Because something leaked today, actually, Monday, that in the VAR room, when Fermin Lopez had that handball that was just before his 5-3 goal, his final goal that caused an amazing celebration, the guys in the VAR were like, man, when they showed the handball, like, thank God.
Thank goodness was uttered by the referee in the VAR room, which is insane. Where else do you see this happening? Nowhere. Only Madrid, bro. Barca won despite a robbery. It's crazy.
What robbery, though?
Let me talk to you. So for one, Barcelona won, but we're not gonna forget this robbery. Mbappe's penalty coming from an offside. We saw no VAR review on that offside. VAR review for everything else. Replays rather for everything else, but no replay for that first Mbappe penalty, which came from an offside.
But what
Which I believe
was
was offside.
What was offside?
Him.
People are saying that the reason why it wasn't called is because when Kubarsi gets that touch in, that's the start of another play.
There you go. There's your answer.
Okay.
But
I could continue, but go
but
ahead.
from what I saw after the game, at that point I was like, yeah, okay, I understand that. It comes off him. It's his mistake because he gets a bad touch, and that's the start of the next play. But the run he was making to get that ball was because Mbappe was making that run. So that's exactly the same thing. When you remember that time where Inigo Martinez was stopped by I think we were facing Sevilla or something, and there was a guy in front of him, and Teca I think it was actually. I don't know what team he plays for. Malaga, I think. I forgot what team it is.
Who?
And Teca.
Okay.
In La
Go
Liga.
on.
Whatever. Inigo Martinez was making a run to try to stop this guy from getting the ball, but the guy was in the way of him making that run. So then later on, they realized, okay, he was in front of the guy, so he was in front of the play. And because Inigo Martinez couldn't get that, it's an issue. Same thing with Mbappe. Because Kubarsi was making the run to try to cover Mbappe's run, he gets that bad touch in, which causes obviously the second round of play, which you would think is him touching that ball too.
But that sounds like a totally different situation. What you just said.
It is. But I'm just saying, like, those are like two situations where that stuff can happen. Okay, and I agree. Like the reason why Kubarsi was making that run is to stop Mbappe making that run. Like he was trying to get him.
But if he didn't touch it, then theory would have been offside.
Yes. Yeah. Theory would have been offside, but because he was making the run, it was because of Mbappe,
Yeah.
and he's offside. So
Yeah.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, man. Two big mistakes by Kubarsi in what you would say back-to-back matches, but
He's young, though, man.
no one's talking about it, man. Araujo does that. It's a whole different story.
Okay, but
Araujo's
it
not
was
17.
yeah. Plus, it was also revealed that Kubarsi had the stomach flu. That's why he got subbed off.
Really?
Yeah, stomach bug.
Okay, anyways, so that's not one discrepancy. There were multiple. So Lamine got fouled before Madrid's second goal. He got stamped on by Valverde. No clear penalty on Rafinha after Vasquez pulled him inside the box. No clear red card for Tchouaméni as he was the last man making a tackle.
No, that was
Confuse
a
me.
yellow. It was
Really?
it was too
Last
far off
man?
to the side.
Too far off to the side.
Where was it? Whereabouts was it?
From what I remember, it was outside the 18. I think it was. I don't know how to explain it. Like
20 something odds yards out. Jesus. 20 something yards out. Right side of the box pretty much.
I agree. It was. I don't think it was a penalty. It was the ball was going out.
Not penalty, red card. you mean.
No. Sorry. Yeah.
Because he was last
No,
man.
it wasn't a card.
It was a
You
yellow.
don't think that should be red?
Yellow. No, not a red.
Okay.
He wasn't going to directly.
It wasn't like a goal threat.
It wasn't directly to the net. He was obviously he was past the defender, but he was going towards like the corner flag.
It wasn't no threat. Okay.
No penalty after a handball by Tchouaméni. We all saw it. We got multiple replays, multiple angles, but apparently the VAR room only got 2 angles.
Yeah, these VAR rooms are kind of like stupid.
What
They
now?
never
That
have all
one,
the angles somehow.
that one, I will never understand how that's not a penalty.
I think they were saying Tchouaméni didn't have enough time to tuck in his
I
arm
don't
because the ball
care.
It
was too close.
It was way too
But
close.
that makes no sense.
What do you mean?
I
It's
don't
too
care.
close. He
Doesn't matter. The ball, his arm was preventing the ball from going in the back of the
It
net.
was too close, and he was making the action of putting it behind his back. That's never a penalty.
So he has to go. He has to go like this.
No,
go like this.
He was going like this. The ball hit him when he was putting it back.
Depends
do
how
you
far
know?
out.
Okay, so what?
How far out? I don't remember it, to be honest. How far out was his arm?
So because he was
You're,
trying to put.
you're Torres, I'm Tchouaméni.
Huh?
You're Torres, I'm Tchouaméni. You're shooting the ball at me.
No, how
Okay.
far out was his arm? Like if his arm's like all
He was
here.
going
like
like
this.
this. Going like this. Putting it behind his back. And it hit him when he went like this.
Okay, is it my fault that you were too slow to put it behind your back and that I hit it off your arm? No.
There's a difference between being too slow and it being physically impossible to get your arm behind your back in time.
Yeah, but there's no rule that says,
Yeah.
there's has to be a certain amount of
it's fast.
time for you to put away your arm. You're
Yeah,
denying.
there's a distance rule.
You're denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity. That
but there's
ball
the distance.
was going in the back of the
It's
net.
distance though.
That's not in the rules. There's
Yeah,
no
it is a
distance
bro.
rule.
There has to be.
What's
a
the distance rule?
It's not. There's not a distance rule, but it's never called when the play is that close. It's never. I've never seen it called when it's that close.
But the
I
ball was
think there
going into the
has
back of the net,
definitely been.
and
It was
his
that- bro, it was
arm
too close.
prevented it. That's
It was too
that's a
close.
penalty.
There's definitely been
too
penalties where
close.
it's that close.
Never,
You
bro.
don't think there's been
Not
penalties
once?
when
Never,
it's been
bro.
that close? Are you kidding
More
me?
often than not, when the ball is that close to the player, it's not called.
Maybe at the edge of the box, but
No, even in the box.
Goal
I've
bound?
seen it. I've seen it,
Give me
dude.
some
I've
time
seen
to
it.
look
I've
at
seen it.
some.
I've seen it against my team. I've seen it for my team. I've seen it both ways. It happens, dude. If it's that close, you can't call that, man. It's too close. Way too close.
I don't think so.
I don't know if
could
that's
go
in the
either way. I
rules.
think it depends on the ref on that one.
It's too close, man.
Well, the way you can also look at it is when Fermin Lopez scored his goal.
Yeah, that's the last
Kind of the same
last issue there.
situation.
What do you
He
mean
wasn't
it's the
trying to
same
put his
situation?
arm behind his back, but it was a normal movement because he was making a run.
Yeah.
The ball rebounded off
Ball
of.
rebound off his arm.
Yeah.
It was the same length.
Okay.
That they went back onto that
Mm-hmm.
and they called it no goal.
Yeah. It's
It was offside though. That was the one that was offside.
No, it was
No.
on
Fermin
the
Lopez
ball.
on the side.
Yeah.
It was like the one
At the
that
end of
we
the
scored.
game, when they went to celebrate in the
When the ref
yeah,
on
yeah.
track.
VAR said, "Thank God."
Yeah. Well, that one they were trying to make the game not too embarrassing. You know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna call one, call the other. If you're not gonna call one,
It's
don't
a
call the other.
different situation though.
Yeah,
How?
It's a different situation, but the arms are in the same spot. If you take it frame by frame, the foul was because the arm was here, and the foul was because the arm was here.
Yeah, but one is not player not was Fermin not dribbling with the ball, like he was making a move past somebody.
I don't remember.
Like he had he was at the ball near the touch line. He was dribbling past someone.
I think what's it called? Valverde tapped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it hit off his arm and then
Yeah.
it went in front of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He's dribbling past the guy.
Okay, but it's that close. Does it happen?
He's not shooting the ball at him.
Okay, so then what?
If you're shooting the ball at the player, you don't have the time to react.
He doesn't have the time to react either to move his arm.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's a foul.
What?
It's a handball in that situation because
So
he's
then how
trying
is-
to advance forward with the ball, and his hand
Okay,
hitting the
and Chouamani's
ball
stopping a
helps him
goal.
advance forward. Tchouaméni, the ball's being shot at him
Okay, but he's stopping a goal from going in.
because the ball's being shot at him at close
Okay,
range.
is Federer not supposed to shoot that ball now?
What do you mean he's not supposed? You can shoot the ball, but it's not a penalty. It's too close.
I don't
It's
know.
too
That makes
close.
no sense to me.
I'm on the line.
I don't know what you mean by too close.
It's too close,
That
bro.
makes no sense. We've seen,
Dude, I've never
we've
seen it called.
What are you talking about?
I've
We've
never
seen
seen
calls
it called.
like that.
I've never seen a call when it's too
We've
close.
seen calls where it's a
Anytime-
corner kick. The guy headers it in front of me. I'm like this. It hits my arm, and then it's a
Anytime,
goal kick, penalty.
anytime it happens, I've seen it be too close. The commentators
Bro,
always say that's too
we've
close.
seen so many times corner kicks. I'm this. Matt's here.
Mhm.
He headers the ball. I'm on him. My arm's like this, and it's a penalty.
Holy
We
kiss
not
already.
close.
What the hell's going on?
We not
Different, man.
close.
It's different. It's a different
What's
situation.
different? It's the same thing.
Because in that situation there, you shouldn't be going up with your hand up.
Your arm shouldn't be like this either.
He's trying to put it back.
Okay, so you're trying to. You didn't. Is it
He's
my
trying-
fault you didn't get to it?
He's in the motion of putting it back.
Okay, too many. I'll let you put your arm back. Let me shoot now.
No, he's in the motion of putting it back. There's a difference between if there's a motion putting it back.
I
and going
understand
up
there's
like
a
this.
motion.
If you're jumping up like this, it's gonna get called. If
I
you're jumping up
understand
like
there's a motion,
this,
but
it's
doesn't
not
mean
gonna get
anything.
called. It does.
No, it doesn't. If
It
a guy
does.
goes in
Literally
for a
what-
slide
that's-
tackle, if a guy goes in for a slide tackle, and at last second he pulls his legs back, but he's still making the slide tackle, still as foul.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying it's the same thing. If you're trying to put your arm behind your back, but you don't get to put it all the way behind your back, it's still a freaking penalty.
Not when it's that close.
That makes no sense to me.
Not when it's that close.
Let me put my 2 cents in. I think I'm on the borderline for this one.
You
I
gotta
think
pick a side, man.
I
You
think-
think borderline
I think
a lot. Pick a side.
Chouameni should not have his arm out like that. You should
Yeah.
be. You should
He's
be
putting it behind his back.
Hold on. You should be defending
You're a
with your arm.
defender. You're a professional. Right away.
Yeah,
What are you talking
your arm
about?
should be behind your back right away, and you shouldn't be ooh. It should be quick.
And that wasn't the first thing.
But-
It wasn't like Torres got the ball and then like he shot right away. There was a whole play. Like they were in the box for some time, so Chouameni could have been this like this the whole time.
Okay, that's one side. But obviously, you guys as Barca fans are going to say that's a pen 100%. As a neutral, I can see why.
You're not a neutral, bro.
He's a neutral.
You're
I'm a neutral.
You're not a neutral. But go
As a
ahead.
neutral, I can see why the reasoning. Do I agree with it 100%? I don't know. But do I disagree with it? I don't know. It's a tough one. I think it depends on the ref on this one.
Pick a side, man.
No, I can't.
Wow.
I'm
Why?
a neutral. I'm a
So
neutral.
you basically said nothing.
Yeah, I
So
said
you're saying-
nothing because it literally depends on the ref on this one.
He said, "Let me give my 2 cents. I'm not taking a side." That's what he said, bro.
Yeah.
You got any more things that happened?
That's well. Besides them in the VAR room being like, "Thank goodness," after Fermin's
Yeah, that's crazy.
handball, the ESPN commentators, not gonna mention who, but
Why not?
during a potential penalty call, or sorry, I think it was during Fermin's handball, right?
No, it was the Chouameni.
was
play.
it Chouameni?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the commentators is like, "Be brave, be strong, referee. Don't fall into pressure. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Be strong.
Seriously?
Stand firm." Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He was
bro.
right though.
Do you know what it
It's
is?
not a penalty.
Yeah.
No, Dave. Do you know what it is?
No, but that's still bullshit.
Oh,
Starts with an M.
I know who it is.
Okay, so the question is, have Barca been done dirty by refs this season?
nah.
No.
I feel like every team gets done the same, man.
Yeah, every team gets calls against them. Every team gets calls for them.
That's
I
crazy.
think by the end of the
They
season,
do.
by the end of the season, it evens out. You're always gonna have more bias towards your team. Dude, and if you go on Twitter, you're gonna find 1,000,001 reasons to be upset about the game. Dude, it happens to every team. The teams will get done dirty one game, and then the next game it'll get made up for. It's just the balance of it.
Well, another interesting side note that came out today. The ref from Barca Inter, Szymon Marciniak, has been dropped by UEFA because of
Yeah.
his performance in the game.
Yeah.
He won't ref the Champions League final or the Europa League or Conference League finals, and he was in line to.
Yeah,
So
it happens, man.
what does that say? What
did
are
he
your
do
thoughts
wrong,
on
though?
that?
It happens all the time.
He wasn't-
Referees getting dropped?
Yeah.
Bro, he was a front.
Name another instance.
Dude, what do you mean? Dortmund DFB Pokal.
Howard Webb.
The referee literally got suspended from refereeing professional football for 2 years
Why though?
because he made a bad call in the game. He made an incorrect call
So what are you saying?
during the
about-
game, and then after the game, they came out and said like this was an error. The referee is going to have a ban for 2 years. And it was a whole incident with like Bellingham, with like Haaland, like a bunch of players. They were all tweeting about it afterwards, and he was banned from refereeing for 2 years to the top level.
So
what
what's the
you're saying-
reasoning?
So what you're
Happens.
saying is Marciniak made a bad call then?
What's the bad
Maybe,
call though?
maybe he was, maybe he did. I don't know.
Like what's this ban for? Did it say?
Well, they didn't.
I
give-
mean,
It comes
did you
from-
watch the game?
It comes from the
It wasn't that bad.
It comes from the Inter Barca game. Yeah, it's the second
Yeah.
line. That's where it comes all stems from. Some controversial calls, performances. That's what it says. The decision is linked to his controversial performance during the Inter Barca semifinal, second leg,
Yeah,
where several of his calls sparked major controversy.
yeah. It could have been calls both sides, right? Like you don't. It doesn't necessarily say.
doesn't
Right?
necessarily mean Barca because there
But
was
who was it? Who are the calls more for?
it was realistically it was
probably
pretty
both
bad
ways,
both
yeah.
ways.
But
Both ways.
I'm not asking about both ways. I'm
We
saying
went
who's
through
more.
this.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of people say most of the 50-50 calls went in Inter's favor.
People say who Barca Twitter?
No, just people in general.
I doubt it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, dude, there's always you're never gonna get a game 50-50 100% of the time.
That's crazy. Talking like Madrid fans right now, man.
Oh, it's true, man. It happens. Like
crazy,
there's gonna be games where the other team gets maybe a little bit more favorable calls than the other. It happens all the time.
It's crazy, bro. What I saw this semifinal second leg in this game against Real Madrid, it's not normal. We don't see shit like this happen.
What do you mean, bro? You guys
It's not
won, you guys
normal.
won the game.
It's not
Who
normal
cares?
though. Yeah, I hope so. Despite all the robberies that go on, this is a statement victory, bro.
Robberies, man. Nothing really concrete happened in that game.
But you guys were going up against 4 House League defenders anyway. You guys should have won.
That's crazy, bro.
This is the Real Madrid, bro. Come on.
The team sucked, bro. Did you see the second goal?
All
Barca
they,
scored?
all, they have is Mbappe, man.
Second goal was shambles.
Vinny got 2
Shambles.
assists.
Second goal was Lamine Yamal's banger. What are you talking about?
That wasn't the second goal.
Yes, it was.
No, that was the third goal.
No, it wasn't. You're asking again. This guy's asking.
Third
me.
goal, or first
Rafinha scored the
goal.
last two.
Yeah, it was the third goal then. Terrible
third goal.
defending.
The captain of Real Madrid.
Terrible defending.
No, the last 2 goals were his fault, I think.
Who, Lucas Vasquez?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is
No, it was definitely a
Madrid
bit of
team's
a
not the same.
makeshift back line, but Barca were missing players too, right?
No,
So-
but like it was. Even the commentators were saying like this was like embarrassing for the defenders.
Well, yeah, dude, you see the lineup they had out there. It wasn't. We all know Tchouameni's on a center back, and he was like their best center back that was out there.
Vasquez is not a Real Madrid player. That whole backline wasn't Real Madrid
What are
quality.
your,
He has
what-
like 5 Champions Leagues. Not a Real Madrid
On
player.
the bench.
No, he started a couple of them. I
Back
think.
up to Carvajal.
Nah, Vasquez is a good player on his day. I think he's a little bit past, and I don't know if he can play.
Nah, he's not at that level.
Not for
anymore.
anything, dude. Not many people can play right back and play well against like Rafinha this season, right? Like, it's a tough task.
Bro,
Coming
it
up
was
against
one
those
simple
guys.
pass that they all like were lost on.
It happens, man. It happens.
What are your thoughts on Rodrigo not playing? You Brazilians
Uh,
didn't even start and didn't get time on. He brought in some young lit lad.
yeah, that guy
instead.
bottled a shot, man. He could
And
have
what about that? What do you have to say about that?
about bottling that shot.
He was a La Masia Youth Academy player, bro. What if he missed that on
If
purpose?
anything, he wants to score, bro.
He missed that on purpose.
I'd want to score
He
against a
missed it
team
on
that
purpose,
didn't want me
bro.
to play for
It was
them.
an inside job.
That's
He missed it on purpose.
that's crazy.
That's about as
Yeah.
crazy as what you guys were saying.
Nah, that's too close.
Is it?
Yeah, it's literally
A little bit, yeah.
same
This
thing,
guy's
bro.
rage baiting right now.
Same vibe, bro.
Not
That's
even
rage baiting.
close.
Low key.
Same vibe,
Not even
bro.
close.
Low key.
But nah, it seems like Rodrigo is not in Ancelotti's plans anymore. Maybe we could potentially see a move in the summer, depending on how the new gaffer takes him in. But
Ancelotti's not in Ancelotti's plans anymore. He's
Yeah,
gone.
there's no plans anymore.
But I don't know. Do you think he would do well under Alonso's tactics?
He's gone, man.
I think he's
don't know.
gone. I think he wants to.
I think he would do well
try something new.
under Alonso, but I don't think it makes sense for his career to stay there and be like
The number 3.
a third,
The
fourth,
third fiddle.
fourth
Fourth.
option. You know, like,
Fourth, you're
I don't think it makes any sense for him to be like. I think he's better than that, right? So I think for his career, it makes more sense to maybe try going to Arsenal or
City.
Liverpool or City or Bayern. I don't know, like go to another team where you're gonna be a better option for the team, because he's clearly proven that he's better than a third or fourth option, right? So there's not enough ball to go around, unfortunately.
Would you say that's like a decline in his career
No.
if he to make a move? 'Cause
It's just going to be like
Real
a
Madrid?
Sanchez situation. Like when he was at Barca, he was kind of like, what, third, fourth string there. And then he went to Arsenal and became a star player.
Yeah, I think
I
obviously,
hope so. Too.
obviously in theory, like it is a decline because when you're leaving arguably the biggest club in football, but I think like for his career, it makes more sense to go be a star somewhere else than to be like not even playing, not even coming off the bench. You know what I mean? Like
It's not good.
doesn't make
But
sense.
but speaking on another Brazilian, I have here. Did you guys know that Endrick becomes the youngest player ever to lose 5 El Clásicos in a row?
Damn.
I haven't seen that stat, bro.
that- See that stat?
Such
That's
a
new.
wild
What
stat.
a crazy stat, man.
Youngest
Congrats,
player.
Endrick. You deserve it, man.
Damn,
You
bro.
did a lot.
Is he cursed?
Ah.
You got a curse?
I
I
mean-
saw this. I started laughing. I'm like, becomes youngest player to what? Oh, lose.
I mean, I didn't even know Arda Güler was playing. Turns out he started.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Bro,
did start.
He
It
played
was
bad
bad.
too.
I didn't. Did he get a touch?
I don't think he
Yeah,
did,
he did.
man.
I think he got told
Thing
3
played
touches.
well when he came on. Brahim when he came on.
Yeah, but Brahim always
Yeah.
does. I don't know why they don't give more minutes.
Because he's not a super. He's not a
enough-
Galactico.
Not enough ball, man.
Okay.
Not enough ball to go
Okay,
around.
what are your guys' thoughts on every Jude Bellingham first touch being a duel?
Yeah, he was. He was battling. He was definitely battling in this one, man.
I think the thing with Jude, the media wanted there to be an English superstar so bad, and they put all this aura around Jude, bigged him up, but he ain't it. He's not that superstar they wanted. He ain't it.
Why not?
He's not that good.
No, he's good.
In theory.
No, I think he has to get back to a more offensive role. His defensive role, as you can see, is deeper. When he's deeper in the field, he doesn't do anything. When he's up top, he does something because he could get the ball moving and he's a threat in the box.
He's gonna keep getting moved back.
He's
the
not.
field.
No.
Yeah, because Arda Guler is gonna have a more prominent role
Arda
next
Guler is
season.
going to be sold within 3 years.
What?
Okay,
I bet on it.
3. I'm talking about next season. He's
He
gonna have
won't-
a
he won't
prominent
start.
role.
Guler's not going to start.
He's gonna have a more prominent role, I think.
If Rodrigo leaves, he will. I think.
I don't think so. I don't think that necessarily brings Guler into the starting lineup. I think that puts Bellingham higher up.
Even
Bro.
then, like, is Bellingham gonna be the best Englishman on Real Madrid next season?
Trent?
Is Trent gonna be better than him? Technically, but like not obviously the position wise, but for the team, is Trent gonna have a bigger role on the team?
Well, we'll see.
A bigger role in the team.
Yeah, it's a more important role basically. I wonder how it's gonna
Maybe,
work.
maybe.
I have no idea how it's gonna work.
That's Chabby.
Like sometimes I can think of how this might work out. Like I have no idea how it's gonna work.
3-4-3. That's what it's going to be.
I don't know. If they don't bring in another creative midfielder, then they have to trust in Goulet because no one else is a creative midfielder on
Is
that
he that
Madrid
creative,
squad.
though?
Yeah,
Goulet, yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Couldn't get a touch in the game.
Goulet is a very good player. Man.
playing Barca, bro.
He's a
facing
very
off
good player.
Gerard Martin, bro. Dumbo.
Does anyone think Fede Valverde is a little overrated?
No, man. That team's just shit.
Okay.
That team is shit. It's shit.
How?
It's shit.
See, the thing is-
Wait, so I saw a stat that at the beginning of the season, E ESPN percentage of Real Madrid to win the league was 86%.
You said this last time.
I'm giving you the stat.
Yeah, but like I said it last time, it's we're talking about the end of the season now. We're not talking about beginning of the season.
Okay, so you're saying a team with Vinny Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham, Valverde, and Courtois on the pitch is a trash team.
Yep.
Wow.
It also had
Wow.
name their backline.
Fran Garcia,
They had a lot
Trash.
of injuries. This
Champions League winner.
Trash.
season. Well, the whole team's a Champions League. winner.
There,
He's
so is it a
totally
bad
left,
team?
right?
You could have Vallejo's a Champions League winner. He sucks.
Fran Garcia's their starting left back.
No, he's not.
He is.
Mendy's their starting left back. He's injured.
they're both ass. Too.
They had a lot of
Mendy's
injuries
not
this season, man. This Real Madrid team, it's not a bad team per se,
Bad team.
but they had way too many injuries that no matter what team you have, when you have that many injuries at the back, you can't overcome it. And second, I think people underestimated the loss of Toni Kroos.
I agree with the Toni Kroos thing, but you think I don't know. To be honest, this might be biased. This might be hyping Lamine Yamal, but you think Militao's gonna stop Lamine Yamal either?
What do you mean?
Wait, what?
Militao. You think he's gonna be stopped if he was fully fit? He's gonna be stopping Lamine Yamal?
No one's saying they're
Cutting it?
stopping him.
They
It's
have
just
a better chance
better
if they have
chance.
their full
Yes,
back
but
line.
bro,
Yeah.
we've seen what Lamine Yamal did against one of the best center backs in all of football.
Who?
Bastoni. What he did against DeMarco. What he did against a guy who actually came on,
What did he do?
Augusto, whatever.
Yeah, but DeMarco's not really like defensively.
Like-
He's not there to play defense.
I
But what did he do?
understand, but it's like not. I don't think much would change. I think Lamine would still have his way.
He would still have a good game, but you have a better like. Realistically speaking, like we're not just talking about this one game, like a one-off game.
No, 100%.
Like Madrid as a whole during the season are probably gonna have a few more points, more secure wins, just more confidence when you have a full back line. Like you guys went through that too a
Yeah,
couple
we
seasons
did.
ago,
Yeah.
right?
They had injuries last year too.
Yeah, everyone has
Yeah, injuries
injuries,
last year
right? So
too,
like,
yeah.
who
Yeah.
Madrid,
Yeah.
but not this bad.
no. This is
The best goalie in the world was injured.
Militao was injured
Yeah,
the
but
whole
Lunin
year.
came in.
Lunin
He
came
stood
in
on
and
his
did
hands.
just
Militao
fine,
was
dude.
injured the whole season too.
Yeah, but last year Rudiger was more fit.
And
He was
Alaba.
able to play. Alaba was still playing. They still
Alaba
had
was
Toni
nothing
Kroos in the
now.
midfield. Like Valverde was there playing right back. Like
Nacho was
Carvajal
there.
was there. Nacho was there last season too.
Nacho's good, man.
Nacho is like equivalent to an Inigo.
Jesus Christ, man.
It is.
The cope.
It's true.
It's not cope. It's fact.
This is the Real Madrid. Yeah, like they do have a lot of injuries that maybe hurt their depth, but we're talking about a starting lineup.
Bro, their starting lineup is not that good.
Come on.
It's not. You can say come on.
Wait,
It's
wait, wait,
not.
wait. I named like 5 World 11 players.
And
You have 5 World 11 players in your lineup, and that's not a good lineup.
you put up 5 World 11 players against 11 World 11 players. you're gonna
What
be.
team has
Ooh.
11 World 11
Bro, the
players?
Barcelona after this year are gonna have a couple World 11 players on that team.
Couple versus
11?
whole team.
Okay, they're gonna have a solid 8 probably.
No.
No.
Yes, bro. Jamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Pedri, Kubarsi probably. Szczesny could possibly get in there.
No.
Chance.
Chesney.
Why not?
No chance.
Why not?
Donnarumma's getting
Balde.
I was waiting for that.
You messed up.
No,
I swear
said-
on
I'm
my
talking-
life I was waiting for you to say
I was
that.
talking about possibilities.
This
though.
guy had one job, bro.
Okay.
He had one job.
You messed up.
I didn't mess
Bro,
up.
I
Okay,
was
well,
like,
my God.
Balde World 11. You say he's not world
yeah,
class.
possibility. I never say he's not world class. I said he's on the brink of it.
World 11 isn't world. It's in the name.
Yeah, if he gets to that by the end of the
He had
season,
one
sure.
job.
Bro, I put him in my top 3. What do you want? I just said everybody in the top 3 doesn't have to be world class though.
But it's the World 11. Half of world class is in the name. World.
You could have, as we said, there's not that many good left backs.
There's two better for sure. in the
I would
Champions
agree
League
with you
final.
though that there's a lot more quality on the Barca team right now, but still, this is the Real Madrid.
You could say the Real Madrid. This is not the Real Madrid.
Do I have to name the players again that were on the
It's
field?
5 players and one's a goalie. You
Hold
can't
on.
do anything.
You forgot the most important player from Madrid. The referees.
Oh, here we go. I
Here we
hate
go.
talking to Barca.
Okay,
brats, man.
but despite that, Barca have beaten Madrid 4 out of 4 times this season, scoring 16 goals against them.
If anything,
Remember, and I want to throw this back to a certain reel a couple of months back where I was like, why does Barcelona always dominate Real Madrid in Clásicos? And you're like, no, they don't.
me,
Yeah.
can I get the proof?
It's on their
You
story
reposted
right
it.
now.
You
I
did.
reposted it
on the
today.
story.
You did say it.
Nice try, bro.
And you were sitting right there.
Yeah.
You were wearing I think you were wearing the yellow Calcio hoodie. I think you had a hat on too, purple hat.
Let's see.
Check
Yeah.
the story right now.
It's literally right there. Yeah, unfortunately, it's true.
But the funny thing is, the one thing I think Madrid fans are more pissed off than anything right now is that they got betrayed. They got betrayed by their own. Travis Scott was supposedly a Madrid fan, Madridista.
Who
He took a
said
picture
that?
He has a picture with Vinny with the
Yeah.
jersey, and now they're all Madrid fans are cheesed. They're all mad that Travis Scott is now with Barcelona. And dude, supposedly you can see right here. There's so much footage of Travis Scott when they scored. He was going
Celebrating,
nuts.
bro. Yeah.
Going
Bro, the camera
nuts.
kept panning to him. He was celebrating. Look lit.
He was freaking high fiving, dabbing up Laporte, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, this guy was like they're boys and everything, man.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Is Barcelona's Spotify deal the best sponsorship in modern football? Think about it. Obviously, they gotten a lot of money from the deal. They signed a 12-year stadium rights deal along with shirt sponsorship. Great. A lot of money from that. But the opportunity for these world-renowned artists to come in, stamp their name on the shirt, come to the game, bring energy around it, and collaborate on merch that sells out in seconds. The Travis Scott line sold out in minutes, no?
Bro,
That's fire.
I bought everything. So stay tuned for a little review after that when I get it
Review.
in 10 to 12
But-
weeks.
The Travis Scott Barca collab was the perfect case study for football sponsorship and for any artist that wants to be next. Because Travis Scott, obviously his brand benefits, the Barca brand benefits. It's a win-win. And the jerseys were sick. And they got a huge dub.
Yeah, it's probably the best marketing. Dude, to be honest, man, it could be the best marketing move of all time, from a football perspective, right?
Football or all sports?
Probably football.
Probably don't know enough, but all.
Yeah, I was gonna think.
Right,
I
probably
was
football.
talking about-
Probably football. Like, I'm sure there's been other stuff, but like, if you think about it, like, what better way to penetrate more of like the North American market than through music, right? We obviously know the majority of like the top artists in the world are coming from North America, right? America, Canada. So having that kind of music connection, I think, just opens up, the club to, so many different people that maybe weren't really tuning in as much, but now they're seeing their favorite artists, doing, a photo op with Lamine Yamal, and they're like, oh, who's Lamine Yamal? Oh, he's this wonder kid, plays for this team, and boom, all of a sudden now you have more fans, right? And then on top of that, like you said, I think like it's endless. I think the amount of possibilities you have from like a merch and a jersey perspective, because always new music. There's always going to be new ways to promote a new artist or a new album. So I think a lot of artists are going to be bought into that option as well, because I think like on the flip side, a lot of artists are probably trying to grow their brand in Europe. And what better way to do that than like kind of, tag on to one of the biggest clubs in European football, right? So I think from like a marketing standpoint, it's genius, right? I think it's pretty much what Barca needed to get out of the hole that they were in. So yeah.
Nah.
Well,
notch.
because
Top
you
notch.
take things back. A lot of people laughed when Barca signed the Spotify deal.
I think it was pretty mid up until Travis Scott though. Like it wasn't that good until Travis Scott.
What do
like,
you mean?
It wasn't
no,
that
no,
good.
I agree.
No,
I agree.
wasn't
How
that
is it
good.
mid? Like,
Well, name
wait,
one
mid
of
in
those
terms of
jerseys.
what?
Name one of those jerseys that you bought.
It's not about me buying.
Have you guys bought any jerseys?
You can't
But-
buy those jerseys.
But like they were.
no, you actually can't.
Okay,
They
but
weren't
you
for sale.
Thousands of dollars.
okay, but you literally wait online. You could have probably got the same
No,
price.
not those
100%.
ones. Not those ones.
Okay, but
100%.
they were successful partnerships like Rosalia, Coldplay,
Karol G.
Kiss,
Drake.
Drake.
Yeah, but they're mid. No one took it to the next level like Travis Scott.
No,
did.
that's what I'm saying. Like he came to the game and built a whole collection, not just the kit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. The other ones were mid because they weren't hyped up the way Travis Scott hypes them up. They're just lucky that he takes everything and brings it. He brings his 100% to it. Even like, let's give an example. WWE. He was in a WWE match, and this guy was going nuts. Like just for like his whatever 5 minutes of fame on there, bro. He gives his 100% for everything.
I
and
agree.
think that was
Well,
perfect.
it's a great case study. Maybe these other artists didn't know that they could like expand a whole line, that it could be successful, that there could be a lot of hype around it. Like, which artist do you think should be next? I'm thinking BTS.
Yeah, Barca definitely got to tap into the Asian market.
Ooh.
BTS or Blackpink, like two of the biggest groups in Asia.
What's Blackpink?
I think it's one of the women
Oh,
women
okay.
groups. Yeah.
A lot of
You
people are
wouldn't
saying
want, like, a
Taylor
Bad Bunny?
Swift as well. Taylor Swift, I understand is gonna bring a lot of money, but to be honest, I don't want to see that.
What are you talking about, bro? You're gonna be up at 7 a.m. trying to cop the kit.
Nah,
That's
nah.
what you say now, bro. You're gonna be up waiting to get the kit, bro.
Nah,
I
it's a,
feel
it's
like
a
Bad
cheat
Bunny would
code
be
though,
cool.
bro. Because like you're opening up to so many different demographics, bro. Like
Yeah.
with Kiss and like Coldplay, like you got the older heads. With like Rosalia, you have like, I guess the Europeans, maybe females. With Travis Scott, you got like, I don't know, like
North
teenagers
America.
to like young adults in North America. Like, bro, it opens up so many avenues, bro.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Barca announced that El Clasico was their highest match day revenue ever. And they're not
Makes
even
sense.
at the Camp Nou. They're at a
Yeah.
50K stadium.
13.4 mil, so just enough to pay Young's wages.
Amazing. Let's
There
go,
you go.
Dejan.
Well done, Frankie. He played a good game.
Nah, he did. He was probably one of the best players.
Yeah.
He showed cojones as a
He
captain.
did.
Well deserved. There you go.
You say
I
sorry.
agree.
Grande Frankie.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with the Frankie performance. Yeah, he was a great captain. He was yelling at the referee. He was supporting his guys. He had a great game, mentality wise.
And you just say
Nah,
sorry though.
He's a sick
Sorry.
player.
That's
You
been
guys
my
are-
boy.
You guys are tripping, man.
That's
No,
again, relax.
You guys are
That's
tripping.
been my
no,
boy.
he's talented, but he's been lackluster. He's mad talented
Dude,
though.
it's a little small dip in form, man. It happens.
Yeah,
It's all
Pippin
professionals.
form,
man.
bro.
No, but I like going back to the Travis Scott thing. I agree with Spatty. The other ones were mid because, like you said, I don't think they really understood that what market they can get into. And I think that Travis Scott also being, I think, sponsored by Nike kind of helped as well because Barca's with Nike, and that's why they kind of made that huge
He
collab
has his
thing.
own brand already.
He has his own
Cactus
brand
Jack.
already, Cactus Jack. And like he said, when Travis Scott is in something, he's not just doing it. He's 120% involved. Bro, this guy had a concert the day before.
Yeah,
Free concert,
Free
bro.
concert for anyone, like the people I
Just
believe.
out of the blue, like a pop-up concert in
Spain?
Barcelona the
Yeah.
day before.
Plus,
Kunde was
for free.
there.
Yeah.
Kunde was there
And
signing
PK and Dino.
autographs. Dino was there. Bro, they had a photo shoot with Dino and they were just dabbing up each other. And like I think there was the day before that, I think he hosted like a futsal competition.
Yeah, and he hosted a futsal event in LA too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underground game, yeah.
Underground
Sick.
for like the T90 stuff.
Yeah.
Like this guy
He's been tapped into footy
Yeah,
heavy right now.
Yeah,
He's
he
been
rates
tapped
it.
into everything, man.
No.
Everything.
and it is a good case study for any other artist that wants to do that, and even other teams. Like holy shoot, like maybe we should start doing some of that stuff. I know we saw Inter doing some stuff with like some like movies with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
but that's not the same thing. I think artists is the way to go.
I think it could be if you
Yeah.
do it the right way.
But you
Yeah,
can
I
only
guess.
you only can really tap into that if you have the right sponsor.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like willing to do it.
And like I'll be the first one to say when I saw the Spotify deal, I was kind of concerned. I'm like, oh, what is this stuff? Until I started to see this, and like it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So much sense.
Because at first it was like, oh, what? You're gonna get like discount on like memberships
Yeah,
if like
like-
you're like socio for Barcelona. Like, what are they gonna do with this? You know? But
Yeah.
to see like what's coming to fruition, especially with this Travis Scott shit.
Hey man,
Fire.
that's
Fire,
why that's
bro,
why
fire.
someone's getting paid a lot of money to be their CMO. So
Smart moves, man. Smart moves.
Yeah, I want to.
I got one more thing.
Okay,
Are you,
go.
Are you talking
And then
about
I'll
Barca
go.
still?
It's still for Barca. Yeah,
Okay.
you go first.
Something about Lamine Yamal. Obviously, we know what he did this game. Outstanding performance once again, scoring a banger across Courtois. Just a one-time finish
Beauty.
on the left side. But let me see here what I have set. 1 second, sorry guys.
See, he
some-
linked up with Travis Scott after the game.
Yeah,
yeah,
Who
Him
does?
and Yamal and his little bro.
Yeah,
Dapping each other up
yeah,
after the
dapping
game.
them
signed
up.
a jersey and everything. And then he also met up with Thierry Henry. Got
Yeah,
his signed
Henry.
jersey.
That was a
Yeah.
cold interaction,
Yeah, but-
bro.
But what about the Young's interaction with Travis Scott? Where he's
Yeah.
like,
I just-
brother, like the merch sold out. I need the merch. He's like, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll send
love
it
it.
to
Even
you.
De Jong doesn't seem like that guy, you know? Like De Jong's just like, oh, thanks for coming out. Bro.
You need the merch, man.
Chilling and everything. But yeah, even like Henry, like you're saying that with Henry was like
Like cold interaction,
bro, Henry was like he was kind of like not. I don't want to say praising him, bro. He was like
He was
Henry was
praising him, bro.
super excited to meet Lamine Yamal.
Yeah,
Obviously,
some-
Lamine was to meet Henry, but I think yeah, like that jersey is sick. To
Tu
get
eres
signed.
un crack, bro.
Yeah.
You're truly.
But he's
a
also
crack.
like a super chill dude. You see the clip of him, like he was just out like and about in the city of Barcelona, and then there was like a group of like middle-aged women, like 8 of them, and they're just like out and about, and they just asked him to take a picture, right? And he's
Lamine?
like, yeah, he's like, okay, so he's there like taking a group photo of like all like the girls, whatever, and the girl's like, oh, what's your name? He's like, oh, Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Oh no, I didn't.
She's like, and she's like, no, what's your actual name? He's like, Ryan. And then one of the women in the back's like, no, that's Lamine Yamal. And then one of his boys is like, hey, do you want the photo or not? He's like, just get back in there. But that was jokes. And I also saw he linked up with this. I mean, I forget the guy's name, but he linked up with another guy, I think, for beats, where basically he was like, the guy was testing him. He was playing like snippets of songs, and Lamine had to like say what song it was.
I saw that.
I
And
didn't see
dude, like
that.
Lamine literally got every single song,
Really?
and like his English is actually very good.
It is. It is.
Very,
Yeah.
very good. And he was tapped into all the music. As soon as he hear the snippet, he was laughing, as 50 Cent. He would just, he knew right away.
Lamine is taking the route I wish Messi took. More vocal and actually speaks English.
Yeah, more
Taking the
personality.
Neymar route, but besides the English part.
Neymar did his thing though, like breaking into like the NBA scene. Like he paved the way for that.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
yeah, if Messi like learned English and was a little more cocky, it'd be fun. Like Lamine's fun right now.
Yeah.
It's fun seeing him talk the talk and walk the walk. Messi wouldn't do that.
Like one thing you're saying too right now, and like same thing with Modric. I don't think anyone can hate Modric. Even myself, I like Modric a lot, but I don't think even Madrid fans can hate Lamine Yamal. I think Lamine Yamal has
Did
everyone.
they hate Messi?
They're hating hard.
Yeah.
No, bro.
Then they're gonna
I've
hate
seen
Yamal.
I've seen some like some comps, not comps, but like videos of after he scored, and they're like, this guy's disgusting.
But
Crack.
Then again, he's Spanish too, right?
Spanish
So
too.
That definitely helps in like
Bro, yeah,
lessening.
I think there's a very small amount of people that like, hate
I
Lamine
hate
Yamal. What
him.
he's doing now in football is
yeah, people gotta stop comparing him to Messi though.
no, you can't. You can't.
He's not Messi. He's literally Neymar. Like who said in the chat? I think someone said in the chat. Like
I did.
His movements are exactly the same as
Yeah,
Neymar.
There's
There's
that
a-
inverted combo,
Yeah,
like
the
where they
inverted one
showed
was
him as if
crazy,
he was
yeah.
like a right-footed player, and like
How crazy is that though? It looks
Yeah.
exactly anymore.
it does, bro.
It's actually kind of
it's scary, man.
Because you could tell that he literally
It really
copied and
is
pasted his
scary.
game, and it. Besides, obviously, like Neymar was more skillful.
Yeah.
I would say Yamal's maybe a little bit more technical, like with the ball at his feet, closer dribbling,
Nah, I don't know about all that.
not
bro.
closer dribbling, not skills. Like to be able to beat 2, 3, 4 guys close dribble,
They're
I think
both-
Yamal.
I don't know. Neymar was doing all of that,
That's
bro.
what Neymar was doing, but
No, I see where you're coming from, but
No,
they're both cracks on their own. But like you're saying, Lamine Yamal, and how he's vocal. Supposedly he said after the game, I believe, even if we concede 1 goal, no problem. Even if we concede 2 goals, it's still no problem. This year, Real simply can't beat us. We've proven that. I'm really happy. Visca Barca. What does that tell you? Like such a young kid, and like the not ego that he has. It's
He
a
has an
different
ego,
word.
yeah.
Maturity.
That's not
and, like,
maturity.
that's not ego either.
That's
he's
ego.
He's
That's
talking
ego.
facts.
That's ego.
it's ego.
He's talking facts though.
But that's ego though. If he was mature, he wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, but ego's good though when it's
No, I
controlled.
don't mind ego, but it's not maturity. That's ego.
Yeah, as long as he's showing up on the pitch, then I think it's fine.
Mm.
Yeah, he backs it. So yeah, I don't mind it.
What do you guys think about that? Because yes, like he's a young player. He's still 17 years old. Should players like that age, even though you're so good, be talking like that?
Yeah,
Does he have?
He's
what's it
done
called?
enough.
Exactly. Has he done enough?
yeah,
He's done enough
This guy's a year
already.
old,
Obviously, like
semifinal.
if he stops, like if he starts like putting up stinkers week after week, right? Then you can maybe have a
Knock on wood.
conversation about it. But like he hasn't stopped since he started. Realistically speaking, like he's had maybe like what a handful of like poor performances like in his time, like when he's actually been playing full games. So like he's backed it up pretty much anytime he steps on the pitch. So I think with that, like he can talk whatever he wants. He can have whatever Instagram comments he wants about Bellingham and Ramos, but he can do whatever he needs to do.
See him like subtweeting Bellingham in his
Bellingham and
IG
Ramos.
post. He's like, yeah,
Both of
don't
them.
forget to like this
Yeah,
one
yeah.
too, because the Bellingham and Ramos liked Bastoni's post.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. Because bro, he not only backs up the talk off the pitch, does it on the pitch too, which is
Yeah.
what matters most, right?
Yeah, no, I rate it. I rate it.
and he doesn't. I don't think he takes it overboard either. Like he puts it like a right amount.
Little sneaky disses here and there, but
Yeah, I
this is
rate
what
it.
we need in football, man. Like, yeah, I mean, like, we see what people do on the pitch, but like, football is getting boring, and I think Lamine, while he's doing like this off the pitch, is like it's just cool to see.
Yeah. Because bro, imagine if Messi had like the sort of personality Yamal has, man. Bro, it would have been long for Madrid fans, bro.
No, but
long.
I don't
Imagine
think.
after that 91 goal season, bro. Imagine like Messi starts coming up, bro. Y'all can't say shit.
No, but like
Or even like a 91 like IG
Yeah.
story.
the thing is with two egos, like Messi and Ronaldo having two big egos, I don't think it would work as well. Messi being the quiet ego and then Ronaldo being the loud ego, I think it worked because Ronaldo would say something and you would get Messi just looking at the scoreboard,
Yeah.
walking off. Like I think that was better. I think Messi quiet was better.
It worked in his favor. It was good for the plot. It was good for the storyline. So now there's got to be some type of humble, king that comes up to rival Yamal. Probably not going to be Endrick, but like someone will eventually like.
A lot of
Jump in.
people were saying like, people were thinking it was gonna be Haaland versus Mbappe. Now people are saying it's gonna be more of a Mbappe versus Lamine Yamal. type of
But
scenario.
Yamal's dunked on Mbappe's head top 6 times in a row, bro.
I know
Yeah.
that's the
6
thing.
times with
I mean-
Spain and with Barcelona. And they're going to play each other in the Nations League semifinals coming up in the summer. So it could be 7 times.
That's
I-
going to be huge for the Ballon d'Or race.
I wouldn't say they're dunking on his head though,
Yeah, they're not dunking on Mbappe's
because
head.
he scored a hat trick.
The camera always pans to Mbappe after like these Barca goals, and it's the funniest thing. His face is always so upset.
Brother's got no help.
Yeah, bro.
He's got no help.
Like the Mbappe's face whenever he gets called for offside kills me. It happens so many times.
No, but
One more
that's
thing
not
about the
helping
game from my end. I love the Fermin Lopez celebration.
Yeah, it was
It
cold.
was dirty, man.
But something I really liked about it, and it's something I noticed in live time too, it was one camera angle following him the whole time. They didn't switch cameras until maybe 30 seconds after. So it's the coldest scene of the crowd with the sun coming down and wow, cold, super cold.
Yeah, like the celebration was so sick that they shouldn't have called it back. You know what I mean? Like the celebration was good enough to not call it back. But
I'm not a track field guy,
Me neither.
but that was cold.
that's what I'm
That-
saying.
that's-
It
As
was-
I said,
Yeah.
the tracks are so much better for
you
celebrations.
don't get that without the track.
But you don't. The thing that track doesn't bring is a proper atmosphere though.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the acoustics aren't as loud because there's just so much more open space
Yeah.
but for that celebration, cold.
For all
Super cool.
celebrations. That's what I was saying. When Roma celebrates a goal, it's insane because I just think of Totti with the camera and everything. But yeah, I want to talk about one last thing for Barca. This is about a manager that I didn't really think was a great manager, but what he did for Barca was kind of crazy. He signed and promoted pretty much your whole team.
Who are you
And-
talking about?
So this is Xavi. Signed Kunde, signed Lewandowski, signed Rafinha, signed Inigo, signed Torres, promoted Kubarsi, promoted Yamal, promoted Fermin. What do you have to say to him right now?
And
He
he
didn't
told Rafinha
sign
to
him.
stay because Rafinha was thinking about leaving, right?
And
No, Flick did that, not Chavez.
Sorry,
Dembele,
Flick,
he did
Flick,
to
you're right.
Dembele,
Yeah, he wanted
Dembele, that's
Dembele
the
to
one.
stay, which
That's
I mean he was right.
future Ballon
But
d'Or
he
winner.
didn't technically sign those players,
Technically, yeah.
the sporting directors.
Well, I'm sure he
I
had.
mean, he was forced to play the other ones because they had no choice.
So you think he stinks though?
No, I think he's a good manager.
No, he's not a good manager.
You don't think Xavi's a good manager?
No.
I think he is. I don't think he was ready.
Why did you say
for
you said all this
Barcelona.
and then you bash him at the
Yeah.
end?
No, I think he did. I think he did well.
Like you mentioned a bunch of things that weren't his job, and then said he's not a good
No,
manager.
no. What he did well for Flick, not for himself.
So winning a La Liga is not okay. It's not good.
He wasn't that good of a manager.
Nah, he's good. I think the Barca job itself, like to take Barca to like where they want to be and like competing for Champions League, competing for trebles. I don't think he was there, but I think he's a good manager. I think like wherever he goes next, I think he'll do a solid job.
I heard possibly United. A lot of rumors around.
I heard
that.
he wants to go to the Premier League.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah.
He wants to go to the Prem though.
You
He
shouldn't.
said.
You should
He
not
wants to
do
play in
that.
the Prem.
Yeah,
so.
he likes the crossing.
Should not
so.
do that, man.
But nah, shout out to Xavi, man, laying the groundwork for this great Flick side, and apparently Flick's gonna re-sign for I think another 2 years.
He did already,
27,
yeah.
He did.
Yeah, today.
So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Xavi. Shout out Flick, bro.
Shout out Coleman too, man. Coleman was the one, if you think about it, who started this all. Without Coleman, there's no Xavi.
Shut up.
Without Xavi, there's no Hansi. Without Coleman, there's no Yamal. There's no Pedri. All of this,
No Gavi.
40 minutes of conversation that we've just had about Barcelona and Lamine Yamal is not possible without Ronald Koeman.
Nah, bro.
It's facts.
The Don.
Don Coleman, man.
Clown, man.
I mean,
Yeah, man.
Hansi Flick also today penned a contract extension,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's very true.
staying until
That's pretty sick.
2027.
huge for Barca, man. They'll be a scary team for years to come.
But what do you got next, man?
I had something about the Belgian Pro League.
Mm.
That's pretty interesting. That I saw on Dave's favorite app, TikTok. Actually, it might have been on Instagram Reels. So it was one or the other. But they have probably the most obscure league that I've ever like heard of. Not that I've ever seen, never watched it. So pretty much, I'm not gonna go in order. I'm just gonna list a bunch of things here because they have a lot of things that are messed up with their league. Anyway, so at the end of the season, let's say your team ends off with I don't know, 90 points. They have each and every team's points in half. Well, obviously half to whatever, and then let's say you have 59, the other team had 58. So you could end up actually tying second place and then losing on goal difference at the end of the season because of that.
So they cut points in half.
They cut points in half.
Why?
I couldn't tell you. Yeah, so if they have an odd number, they round it up.
Mhm.
So if you have 59, I guess you go to 60 then.
Mhm.
Example, first is on 80, second is on 79. Okay. Top six go into a playoff to see who wins the league. Okay. I believe it's only top three have the potential to make some sort of European competition. Then 7th to 12th also go into a playoff for European football. You guys keeping up here?
What
Yeah.
kind of football? Conference league?
Europa League, Conference League.
Yeah, they go
probably.
into like a playoffs, but like they don't automatically get it. If they win, they have another playoff. So you would think that the top six would have European chances, but no, only the top three. So whoever win the 7th to 12th would have to play 4th or the runners up in the League Cup, and winner of that game get a European spot to have another playoff and make it there. So there's actually a chance that like 12th place can end up making it into a European spot.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And then the last thing, also, if a team has been in the league for more than 50 years, they can request a title.
What?
Not a league title, but
What's
they
the
can,
source, bro?
they can request a title on their name.
No way.
Mm.
So they get like a knighthood, and that word would be royal, as we have Royal
Royal
Antwerp.
Antwerp. Yeah.
So
I think that's kind of cool, man.
Wow.
and they
I
get
like
a
it.
crown on it, and they get a crown
I
on their
like it.
badge. If
I
they
think
choose.
that's cool. I also like that format. I think the format's fun, right? I think like the fact that like the top six get to kind of duke it out to see who actually wins the league and also who gets to qualify. I think it makes it more interesting than like knowing who's going to win the league by like February, right? And I think it could be something cool for like other, leagues where maybe there's a little bit more of like a power struggle to do, right? Because I think like when you have that, maybe you have a better chance of like not one team just completely dominating a league. A team can have a good playoff, they make it to Champions League, and all of a sudden they have more money, they invest it well, then they can become more of a powerhouse. I think it's good for the league. I like it.
Was there anything in there about what seems like the league is split up into like 3 different groups? So like
I think-
group
I think- I
1
think
has
that-
6 teams,
That
group
happened.
2 has 6,
That's what he's talking about.
and group 3 has 4.
That's what happens.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
the playoffs.
I think the 4 are fighting for relegation. The middle group, Group B, I guess, is fighting for, like he was saying, the European playoff spot, and then the top 6 are fighting for the league. So
And
that's why
playoff.
those teams play each other in like a playoff, and then the winner of that league phase wins the league.
Okay, true.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of playoffs.
I think it's kind of cool. Like it's definitely
interesting.
It's definitely confusing,
Yeah,
but I think it's interesting and it's different.
yeah. It's complex, but it's a little something different.
Potentially more exciting than a normal format. One could argue.
Give me my normal format, man. What are we doing with all this crazy stuff?
think it's
I heard everything you said and I didn't understand any of it.
That's
Give
'cause
me
you
my
weren't
normal
listening. That's
format.
why
Are we
you're
doing math or are we playing footy,
Yeah,
bro?
we're playing football. Or we're trying to do maths. How is sixth place trying to get a chance to go into European football? What?
12th place.
We solving
Why not?
formulas or
12th
kicking
place.
ball? Like, what's going on?
We're already seeing it this year with freaking Man U and Spurs.
What do you mean?
and then you're saying, oh, we get this is better than seeing a team winning the league early on.
It is.
Doesn't happen every time. Doesn't happen every season.
I'm sure it happened more often than not in the smaller leagues.
Okay.
Yeah, so 6th place could realistically win the league.
You watching Belgian league football?
I'm still not watching it. I shout out Toby. I've been watching it to keep an eye on him and Union Saint Joao. But I think, dude, for a league like that where you probably had like one of Club Brugge or like Anderlecht winning the league every single year by like December, I think it makes more sense. Even if you think of a league like, I don't know, like the Swiss league or the Austrian league where Salzburg are winning the league probably every year by like 100 points. Like leagues like that, maybe it makes more sense to keep it more competitive. Maybe it wasn't always like this too.
Probably not.
Maybe before they had a full season, like, you know what, like they're seeing maybe viewership taper off like halfway through the season. Maybe things are just like, maybe it wasn't exciting enough. I think it's cool.
The only thing is like the rounding up and having points, like that doesn't make sense.
I don't get the points cut in half.
Yeah, I don't.
going on
they,
there?
they have the points.
I'm sure there's a reason why they do it, but
I think I don't know. I think it's to allow for like ties, like for teams to be equal. Because if a team finishes on 69 and a team finishes on 70, the team on 69 is going to get rounded up to 70, and then they're tied on points.
okay.
But I don't know. It's a weird league. That's
It's
all.
a weird league.
Yeah.
It is a weird thing.
Seems like the Swiss league has like kind of something similar. They have like two different groups,
See, there you go.
kind of fighting for like the group championship.
It's already happening.
So it's like 6 for each group.
And you got the Mexican league too. That's also kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Mexican league is
They have like 2 divisions or whatever.
There you
two
go.
divisions, 2 different leagues. basically.
Apertura and Clausura.
Clausura. So
There
it's
you
like
go.
2 different leagues in one season, which is weird. But speaking about leagues, did you guys see the new rules that UEFA wants to implement?
Implement.
Did you guys see the new rules that Champions League wants to implement next year?
No.
What do you got?
So there's 3 rules that the UEFA are thinking of changing to the Champions League next season. First one, no extra time, straight penalties.
No.
Top 8 in the table play the second leg at their at their home.
That's better. Yeah.
Okay.
So the second
I
leg
like
is
that.
always at their home.
Should be.
I like
Although that doesn't make sense after removing the first thing, but okay, go on.
And then no teams from the same country can play each other before the quarters.
Didn't they have something like that already?
They had that before when it was in
was before.
the group,
Yeah.
like
Right.
a regular grouped format, I think.
But now like you can face anyone.
Yeah.
They're probably doing that because all the Prem teams got humped early. They probably
What do you guys
complained.
think about that? So those are 3 rules that Champions League wants to change. UEFA wants to change in the Champions League.
I agree with 1.
They're weird though.
I think,
And
this,
after one season already of changing so many rules,
well, I mean, if they're not that weird because if you think about it, the second and third one were already a thing before, right?
Yeah.
Before the higher placed teams would always have the second game at home, but the advantage of that is if you went into extra time, you had more time at home in theory. But if you're removing extra time, I don't really see why you would add more.
No, you can't remove extra time, man. That's part of the game. Like
You said it in that voice.
it's part of the game. Like,
I
you
agree.
can't.
It is true.
You can't take that out.
I would love for it to go straight to shootout.
No.
no.
Yeah.
Extra time is. Part
You
of the
can't
game,
get it done in 90 minutes. It results in a shootout.
But think about
Get it done in 90.
Think about all the memories and all the amazing things that happened in extra time.
Give me one.
What happened against, unfortunately, Barca?
Fantasy, yeah.
What happened? Iniesta's last minute goal to win it, taking off his shirt, going like this.
Not extra time. That was
What
the-
happened
that was
to
the
man.
90th
Italy
minute.
2006 against Germany.
What
Two
happened?
goals.
It
To,
wasn't great for me.
what happened in? I guess didn't Mbappe score in extra time in the World Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're going into different competition.
But I'm saying those are
No,
things
it's
that
just
happen
extra
in
time in
extra
general.
time that can change.
Yeah,
games.
but penalty shootouts are part of the game too.
yeah.
Yeah, and they're after extra time.
I would rather see more. I would rather see
Extra time
than
means
penalties.
more room for players to get injured.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care about
The
that.
amount of games that footballers play nowadays, why give extra time in games?
I don't. Okay, if this happens, I don't want to hear you guys. Oh, we dominate 90 minutes and then we lose. Oh, cause stupid shootout. Ooh. I don't want to hear you guys.
Why are you
There's gonna be
giving, why are you
complaints
giving them that
regardless.
bratty voice?
No,
man?
no,
'Cause-
I agree with you because would you say penalties is more luck than skill or more skill than luck?
Skill, 100%.
No.
Yeah, skill, 100%.
Bro, you're
Because penalties is not it's not only actual like ball ability skills, but mental skills too.
Yeah.
You
Bro,
gotta
you're-
lock in for a shootout. You can't be scared.
I don't care who you have. If you're going up against Donnarumma, you're losing.
Donnaruma's never lost a shootout.
He's lost one, but
There you go.
90% of the time you're losing.
He's a good
I
goalie.
I would score. I feel like
No.
You,
Yeah.
you would score.
I would
against
score on
Donnarumma.
Donnarumma in a shootout.
How are you scoring it? Where you aiming it?
You can't tell him. He's watching the pod, bro. He's gonna know now.
Sure.
I'm looking at my bottom right corner and shooting it left.
You don't think he knows
And then
that
he
those
said-
kind of
and,
tricks?
and then the ball is saved.
You don't think he has that written down on his water bottle where you're gonna shoot? You probably go bottom left every corner. Time.
What's the penalty technique looking like?
One step like Drogba.
Yeah, definitely. not.
Ever since I saw him do that in 2012, haven't looked back.
Yeah.
You guys saw me score that penalty in the indoor shootout.
Yeah, that's indoor. We're talking
Last
about outdoor.
season,
We're talking
playoff?
about outdoor on Donnarumma.
Bigger net to score on.
Best goalie.
I scored on a little net.
Best goalie in the
On
world.
a little goalie too, probably.
No, he takes
Nah.
up the whole net.
The goalie was a big fella, but I mean, like, it's not Donnarumma. I don't know, but for me personally, like, penalties aside, like, if it was up to me, I would just have them play, no penalties at all.
I agree.
No,
Like,
no.
Until someone scores.
exactly.
No, that's
No,
too
that's
much.
insane.
I would have
no.
120 minutes of football, and then after 120 minutes, golden goal.
Exactly.
That's what I would do.
That's
Obviously-
exactly what I want.
Obviously, player health and safety aside, like imagine all these players were juiced and there was no risk of them getting injured. But I think that would make for the most
What?
entertaining,
No.
the
No, it
most
wouldn't.
entertaining ending to games because
No,
you
it
have
wouldn't.
the extra time, which is fun. Then I think golden goal to end the game would be a lot better than a penalty shootout.
No.
I like that too.
I 100% disagree.
That's a crazy
You're
what
talking
if.
about entertainment, and penalty shootout is one of the most. Yes, I said it shouldn't come until after extra time, but penalty shootout is one of the most entertaining things to watch.
It is
You haven't seen
entertaining.
golden goal.
It is entertaining when you're just a casual fan watching the game, but when it's your team there, it's not entertaining.
It's still
when
entertaining.
You're
you-
actually
wh-
mad.
what about
Why
when
is
you
my
win
team
the
going into
shootout?
this? Huh?
What about when your team wins the
Okay,
shootout?
yeah, sure, you win it, you'll be happy. But what if you lose it? I'd be mad, bro. What the hell? You're playing.
That's entertainment.
We're playing amazing. Yeah, it is entertainment, but not for the fan that's watching that.
What if
is.
you lose an extra time?
What?
What if you lose an extra
Yeah,
time?
Same
but
thing.
at that point, it comes from us messing up.
You
Yeah.
can say
Again,
the same
I
thing.
think penalties is all luck.
Nah.
I think penalties is all luck.
Nah.
You have a
it's
great
not.
goalie.
I don't
you
know
might
about all
have
luck,
great,
but
but most of it.
It's
I think
50-50.
no.
But golden goal, I think, would be a better way to end the game, dude. Imagine the thrill when Jules Koundé pulls up from like 35 yards after playing 180 minutes of football, and he absolutely smashes a thunder cunt of a strike into the top corner.
Yeah, imagine the thrill of seeing players go down on the ground,
Listen,
suffering cramps after
listen,
playing
listen.
this much football.
You didn't hear what
You
I
won
said to
200
start.
minutes of a football
You
game.
didn't hear what I
I'll
said to
take
start,
that.
but I said imagine if they're juicing, injuries aren't a thing. You guys didn't.
That didn't happen though.
Unlimited subs.
I mean, to be honest, dude, I wouldn't hate if you had golden goal in extra time. No penalty shootout, golden goal in extra time.
Now, how about you do golden goal for the 90 to the 120 and then shootout? How do we compromise there?
No,
I'll take that.
no, I'm not.
Damn.
No.
Grow up.
I'm not.
Grow up. For the other two rules, I think the top 8 should have home at the second leg. That's for sure. But screw quarterfinals you can't play your country's teams until the quarterfinals.
I rate that.
Screw that. No,
I rate
I don't
that.
want to see freaking Spurs versus Liverpool ever again in a final.
What are you talking about?
I don't want all these teams to go further and have them play each other in the final. I'd
Or
rather
have the
them play
chance
early.
to, yeah,
Man,
have
but
the
let's be real, man. It's something you have to worry about.
chance.
What?
What
You have to worry
say?
about that.
I don't think we'll see Spurs in a final. At least Champions League final in a long
I was
time.
saying something else, but that too.
Well, for City, huh? For you guys?
I'm saying you don't have to worry about Juve playing another Italian team in the quarterfinals.
Why not?
You guys never make the quarterfinals, man. When was the last time
Yeah.
you did?
Well, yeah, they do, and then they lose to like Lyon, Porto.
Yeah. Maybe it'd be better actually if you guys played an Italian team because you guys probably would play better.
No.
against Milan or Inter. You guys would probably play a
No,
better
no.
game
I'm not even talking
against
about.
Milan or Inter than Lyon or Porto.
I don't mind. It's realistically. This is just pointed at Prem.
Who'd they lose to this year?
Who?
Us?
I don't know.
Some shit team. We lost to
There you go.
PSV.
Eindhoven.
Anyway, this is more so just talking about the Prem. I don't want to see Prem games, to be honest. Like Madrid versus Barca, or Atletico versus Barca, or Atletico versus Madrid. Those are all good games. I don't mind seeing that in the quarters. Liga, PSG versus Lille. Sure, I'll take it. Italy, any team could play each other. I don't mind. It's literally Prem. I don't want to see Prem games.
Why?
They're honestly boring compared to the other games.
Yeah, luckily we didn't have to see too much of that this year, man.
In my opinion, I don't know about you guys. I think the Prem might be the most boring
I
to
agree.
watch in Champions League.
I agree with you. It is.
In
Like,
general, low-key.
But
But what?
you don't realize why that is?
Why?
Because they don't have atmosphere. That's
about
honestly
Liverpool?
why. What?
What about Liverpool?
No ultras.
No ultras, no flags.
There's
no
still
freaking thing.
atmosphere.
No, okay, sure. Maybe I'll give you Anfield, but Arsenal, there's no ultras or atmosphere.
City.
Yeah.
Man City, they don't have ultras in England because they think it's like they're trying too hard.
Yeah.
It'd be like
They
that.
should be at the pub, is what they say.
I don't know, but
They're not allowed to wear their team's jerseys at Premier League stadiums.
I think
You have to wear a jacket, like a brown jacket or a black jacket.
Prem teams should have to all play each other before the quarterfinals.
Just strictly
but
Prem
with the new
teams.
format, how'd that even happen? Like, that's the part I'm confused about. Because like before, I get it, you could do it, but now it's like,
No, you
how do
can't.
you do it? Because like you already have a draw ahead of time for who's playing after the playoffs, for who's in the round of 16. But like, how do you predict who's gonna come out of that game,
They got away.
right? Like,
They got money.
I'm sure they have a way to do it, but like, I don't think like, is it 100% possible to do it?
It's
Like,
gonna
I
be
don't know.
stupid, but they're gonna make it work somehow.
Yeah, I guess. But
Yeah, but those are just some rules that are speculated. There's nothing concrete.
man,
yet.
I enjoyed Champions League this year, man. I don't think maybe don't
yeah,
change
I
it.
think don't change it.
No, I think it was good.
I love
Yeah.
the way it was.
I think
Except
just
for the home second leg. I
I was
think
gonna say
that's
just
better.
change that
Yeah.
one. I think that's the only good one.
You
Yeah.
deserve to play home second.
Because the
leg, I think.
teams that advanced to the final, they played the second game at home.
Yeah.
There's that advantage.
It's
no?
definitely an advantage for sure. It's definitely an advantage, I would say.
Okay. Back to the Belgian league. David, you saw something about Promise David today?
Yes. Give me a second.
I think
Promise
Promise David is like, I think he's top 3 right now in the Jupiler Pro League for scoring. So he's been going off.
Well, that's a local Vaughan lad who has a pretty remarkable football journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Give me a second here.
Next
Start-
big Canadian star.
Started at TFC Academy, believe.
Vanazuri.
Vanazuri.
Then he went to Croatia.
Yeah, I think Dave's gonna pull it up,
Yeah.
but he had a crazy career path.
I think I know it in my head, but I'll let Dave pull it
yeah,
up.
but for him to like do what he's doing is crazy.
Well, yeah, he started off in TFC, the
Academy.
academy, and then he went and obviously played for our local Vanazuri, as a lot of people know. And then from there, randomly, he decided to go to Croatia, out of all places. Moved to Croatia, and then went all the way to the U.S. to play in the
FC Tulsa.
FC Tulsa in the USL League, I believe.
Shout out Oklahoma.
And then from there, he went all the way to
Malta.
Malta. Out of all places, Malta. And then from there, he was there for 2 years, went all the way to Estonia. Estonia League One. And before that, he finally got his chance to go play at the team he's at right now in the Belgian Pro League. And he's just cooking right now. What do you guys think of him? He's obviously still young. I think he's still 22 years old.
23.
I believe.
Something like
23.
that.
How crazy of a career is that at such a young age? You've been at what, maybe, was that 5-6 teams already? And now looking at what he's doing right now at the Pro League in Belgium. What do you guys think of him in the future? Can he go to a bigger team? Obviously, he's probably get called up for Canada.
Yeah.
And he's a proper striker. He's big, fast, and he scores.
Yeah, Hundo P. I think obviously like kudos to him for that journey, because I think like one thing as well, like from what I heard about it, he wasn't necessarily like a mainstay player at like any of those teams until his last year in Estonia. Like when he was in Malta, when he was in Croatia, like he was playing on the reserves teams. He was barely getting, minutes for the first team. And even when he went to Estonia, his first year there, he was just playing and training with the reserves. And then the second season he broke through, and then I think he scored like 14 goals in 16 games. And then obviously, there's some pretty good scouts at Union. They came, plucked him up, and now he's in that system, which I think, to be honest, like if you're a player coming from, maybe not a top footballing nation, like Canada's obviously not there yet, there's probably no better place to be than that club. Because like, dude, like obviously one, they're great at promoting talent, but two, they're also part of their own ecosystem. They're owned by the same owners as Brighton. And a lot of times what you see is players will, thrive there. And then within a season or two, they're playing for Brighton, right? So, dude, think about a player like him. Good physical presence. He's got the pace. He's got power. He's got the finishing ability. I think he can do a job in the Prem. To be honest, like give him a few more years in Belgium. A team like Brighton, obviously because they're co-owned, they can just kind of swoop him up. And then who knows? He could be bagging goals in the Prem. Then we'll have one David playing for Brighton in the Prem. The other David will be playing for Napoli in Italy. And that's like a lethal duo for the Canadian national team, man. He's going to Napoli, I heard.
Yeah, heard.
I saw it today. They're like the only team that actually gave him an offer finally.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Been years. No, I think it's really cool. But it definitely had something to do with him maturing. Because he had to have also maybe even a growth spurt, to be honest. Maybe he had like a little growth spurt within his years of like traveling.
Probably in Estonia. That's
Traveling.
went off.
His years of traveling. But yeah, I think he had to mature a little bit for sure. Because I feel like you get homesick doing all this traveling. So you probably he realizes he's going to be on his own for most of his life now. So he has to man up at that. What I'm trying to say is, I think he manned up at that point in Estonia. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be here. I got to do what I got to do. He did what he had to do in Estonia, came on the first team, and he got scouted.
Yeah, man.
Well, yeah. What does that tell you about? Because we've heard stories, we've seen it all. We've had our stories ourselves, right? Like we've all had that ambition to become a professional footballer. We've heard those stories of those kids who had the ambition, but once they actually got to that point, they get homesick.
Yeah.
They don't feel like doing it anymore. We've heard the stories of guys that actually were good, and then they just felt like they don't like the sport anymore. But this guy went from country to country to country to country to try to find his way into the mainstream scene.
Yeah.
And he did it.
All at a young age.
That just shows you like the mentality he might have too.
Yeah.
Besides his physicality, besides his football ability, it's his mentality.
Yeah.
Not many players have that.
That's the biggest thing I think. It goes to show his mentality. And like, to be honest, dude, like you're going from Malta to Estonia, from Croatia. Like you're just kind of you're not taking no for an answer at that point. Like, you know what I mean? Like the only thing you're settling on is like, I'm going to be a professional footballer in Europe. Right. And I think that just goes to show like, you need that top mentality to play at the top level. Because we've heard, like you said, we've heard so many stories where, all it takes is maybe one coach not to like you, and that can kind of throw off your whole journey in Europe. I'm sure there's coaches that didn't like him when he was going through that journey, but he said, you know what, I'm going to keep going, different team, keep going, and now look where he is, right? So I think there's more to come for sure. I think like we're just kind of scraping the barrel for what we'll see from him, and hopefully, more good things to come for him. Hopefully, maybe a Belgian league title, right? That cheeky little format.
6th place.
Yeah, definitely seems like he has that resilience and top class mentality you want from a potential world class footballer.
My number 9.
He's got all the tools. He's got the frame as well too.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like a couple caps already, but no game time yet under Canada,
Yeah.
right? But
He
hopefully
will soon.
Next call up,
Yeah.
maybe next few months, start getting some
He'll
game
be
time
there- he'll be
because
their Gold Cup.
he's got everything to be a proper striker, man.
Trying to watch him, to be honest.
Yeah, it should be a good Gold Cup, man, and I'm sure we could catch some games in June when Canada play against Ivory Coast and
Ukraine, New Zealand.
Yeah. Because him for Laren would be a big upgrade.
And I think that's what's coming up because it's getting to a point where Jesse Marsh can't deny what he's seeing
He's too good.
from Providence Day. I mean, he's a devastating 6'4", like
Some say 6'5",
6'5" specimen,
6'6" on cleats.
pure bagsman. Like,
And he provides something that Joe David doesn't provide. And I think that would work amazing together.
mm-hmm.
Two different players. Joe David can
Yeah,
drop
because
back
Joe
more.
David's he's a 9.5
Exactly.
as the kids say these days, and it's David X David, like the marketing too.
Dude.
It's just gonna work out like that.
30.
Double D.
There you go, bro.
Double D.
It'll be triple D, actually.
We all love double Ds, man.
They have triple D.
Yeah,
Davies.
Davies too. Yeah, Davies and the Davids. Yeah.
Triple
Sick,
Ds.
Sick.
Damn.
Sick stuff.
I'm excited because that's a local product, man.
We'll have him on the pod soon.
One of our top listeners, actually, Coach Jordan, was his coach.
Yeah.
So shout out Jordao. You know, I'm sure you
Legend.
nurtured him at a young age to become this top footballer. So
And shout out to Promise, man. Shout out to David, bro.
yeah.
Keep doing your thing, man. We're watching you, bro. We're watching you. Trust.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, is that all we have?
Yeah, I think we can end that off there.
You want it off, Matt?
Yeah. But yeah, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Leave a cheeky comment in there too. Comment 7 if you made it to the end. And you know who we are.
We the culture, man. Thanks to all the audio listeners as well.
Huzzah.
And subscribe, boys. Ciao, ciao.
And with
Thanks,
that,
guys.
we out. Peace.
Huzzah.
Bye bye.